If typing out your questions on a computer feels slow or difficult, here is some great news. You can completely skip the keyboard. You can just talk to your computer like a regular person.
Hello, computer.
Making AI feel much easier, more natural, and less frustrating. Maybe you don't like typing long questions. Perhaps you worry about spelling. Maybe your hands get tired. Or you find that you can explain something out loud much better than typing it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use voice with ChatGPT, mainly on a computer with a few phone examples as well. By the end of this video, you will know how to use your voice to ask questions, write a short email, prepare for an appointment, practice a phone call, and even make everyday tasks feel less stressful. And here's the part most people don't realize. Voice changes how ChatGPT feels. Instead of feeling like a search box, it starts to feel more like talking to a helpful assistant sitting across the table. So let's start with the first question most beginners have. Where is the voice button and what happens when I click it? Let's begin on the computer. When you open ChatGPT, you will usually see the message box at the bottom of the screen. This is where most people type. But near that box, depending on your version of ChatGPT, you may see a microphone icon, a voice icon, or a small wave-shaped button. Now, don't worry if your screen looks a little different from mine. These tools change over time. The important thing is to look for the button that suggests speaking, voice, or microphone. Think of this like looking for the microphone on a remote control. You don't need to understand how the remote works inside. You just need to know which button lets you speak. That is all we're doing here. Now that we have voice ready, let's answer the next question. What should you actually say first? Here's the easiest way to start. Hey ChatGPT, explain what cloud storage means in plain English, as if I'm not a technical person. Now notice what happened. I didn't type a perfect prompt. I didn't use fancy words. I just asked a normal question out loud. And this is why voice can be so helpful. You can ask ChatGPT questions the same way you might ask a friend, a family member, or someone helping you at a desk. Here are a few other simple things you could ask. What is two-factor authentication? What does it mean when my phone says my storage is full? What is a scam link? What does it mean to update an app? What is the cloud? But here's where many beginners stop too soon. They ask one question, get one answer, and then think, well, I guess that's it. But that is not it. The real power is in the follow-up. So here's the next question. What if ChatGPT's answer is still too confusing? Simply put, you can ask it to make it simpler. For example, hey ChatGPT, make that simpler and give me an everyday example. This is one of the best things you can do with ChatGPT. Ask it to simplify. Think of ChatGPT like a radio volume knob. If the answer is too loud, too fast, or too complicated, you can turn it down. You can say, make it simpler, give me the short version, explain that more slowly, use everyday words, give me an example, pretend I am new to this. This is not cheating, this is how you use the tool. You are allowed to guide it. You are allowed to say, that was too much, try again. So the first step is all about finding the voice button, allowing the microphone, and asking one question. Then ask ChatGPT to make the answer easier if you need to. Now that we know how to talk to it, let's move to the part that matters most. How can this help in real life? Can you use your voice to get useful help without typing a long message? Absolutely. And I want to show you practical examples. Let's start with something almost everyone has to do at some point, writing a message or an email. Let's say my internet bill went up and I want to ask the company why. Now, I could sit here and type the whole situation, but with voice, I can simply speak it. Hey ChatGPT, help me write a polite email to my internet provider. My bill went up this month and I want to ask why. Keep the email short, friendly, and firm. Now ChatGPT gives me a draft. This is like having a first rough draft handed to you. Think of it like asking someone, can you help me word this? It doesn't have to be perfect immediately. If it sounds too formal, I can say, make it sound a little more natural, like something I would actually send. That is the part beginners need to see. You're not stuck with the first answer. You can adjust it. You can say, make it shorter, make it warmer, make it more polite, make it sound less angry. This is useful for an email to a company, a message to a doctor's office, a note to a neighbor, a birthday message, a thank you note, a complaint letter, a message to customer service, and the list goes on. And here's a simple voice formula you can use. Help me write a message to, then say who it is for, then say what you want, then say how you want it to sound. What if the problem is not writing a message? What if you need to prepare for a real conversation? Many people go into appointments with questions in their head. A doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, a meeting with an accountant, a visit to the mechanic, a call to customer service. And then, when the moment comes, we forget what we wanted to ask. That happens to everyone. ChatGPT can help you prepare. I have a doctor's appointment next week about some test results I do not fully understand. Help me make a list of simple questions I can ask my doctor. Now, an important reminder, ChatGPT is not your doctor. You should not use it to diagnose yourself, but it can help you prepare better questions. Think of it like writing a small note card before you walk into the appointment. The note card does not replace the doctor. It just helps you remember what to ask. Now, I can follow up and say, hey ChatGPT, put the questions in order from most important to least important and keep them short. That is useful. And you could change this for many situations. For a mechanic, you could say, help me make a list of questions to ask before I approve a car repair. For an accountant, you could say, help me make a list of questions to ask about my tax return. And for a dentist, help me make a list of questions to ask about a treatment plan. You are using ChatGPT to become more prepared, not to replace the professional. Now here's a question I'm asked frequently. Can ChatGPT help you practice what to say before an uncomfortable phone call? Indeed it can. And this may be one of the most practical uses of voice. A lot of people don't enjoy making certain phone calls. I don't. Maybe you need to call customer service. Perhaps you need to ask about a charge. Maybe you need to cancel something. Or maybe you need to complain politely. Perhaps you are worried that you will get flustered in the conversation. ChatGPT can help you practice. Hey ChatGPT, I need to call customer service about a charge I don't recognize. Help me practice what to say in a calm and polite way. Now ChatGPT gives me a simple script. This is helpful because you are not starting from zero. You have words ready. But we can go one step further. We can actually ask ChatGPT to roleplay. Hey ChatGPT, pretend you are the customer service agent and practice the conversation with me.
Of course. Whenever you're ready, just start with your opening line and I'll respond as the customer service agent.
Excellent. I'd like to get some explanation with respect to a bill that I just received.
I'd be happy to help. Could you share a bit more about the charge, like the amount or the date, so I can look into it for you?
Well, it was dated for yesterday and there was a charge on it that I'm not sure I understand. I've never seen this particular charge on my bill before.
I understand, and we definitely want to make sure you recognize all charges. Could you tell me the amount of that charge or how it appears on your bill, and I can help clarify it for you?
Great. It looked like an extra surcharge for $15 for something that I'm not sure why I was charged for.
Thank you for that detail. Let me check on that $15 charge for you. Could you let me know if there's a merchant name or any description attached to it so I can narrow it down further?
No, it's rather unclear. That's why I'm calling. There's really nothing next to it. It seems very ambiguous. Maybe it was a clerical error?
That makes sense. No worries at all. Let's treat it carefully. What I'll do is check your account details thoroughly. Could I confirm your account number or any other details so I can review everything fully and ensure we resolve this for you?
This is like rehearsing before a real call. Think of it like practicing a speech in front of a mirror. The mirror does not make the phone call for you, but it helps you feel more ready. And again, privacy matters. Don't give ChatGPT your real account number, your password, your credit card number. You can make up one for the conversation. ChatGPT won't care what you give it here. Use it to practice what to say, not to share private information. Now let's change the pace and use voice for something simple at home. Here's a very easy everyday use. You can tell ChatGPT what you already have in the kitchen. Hey ChatGPT, I have chicken, rice, frozen vegetables, eggs, and some cheese. Give me 2 easy dinner ideas that are not too spicy. Now, if one of the ideas sounds too complicated, I can say, hey ChatGPT, give me the easiest one and explain it step by step. This is where voice becomes very natural. You can say, make it healthier, make it cheaper, make it lower in salt, make it easier for one person. Give me something I can make in 20 minutes. Think of ChatGPT like a recipe book you can talk to. Instead of flipping through pages, you say what you have and what you need. Now many will ask, can I do this on my phone too? And the simple answer is yes. What we've covered on desktop can be done with a mobile phone, tablet, or any other device that lets you access ChatGPT. And this also holds true with most other chatbots like Gemini, Claude, etc. This can be especially helpful on a phone because typing long messages on a small screen can be really annoying. Now here's the next practical question. What will you actually say into your phone? Here are a few simple things you could say on your phone. Help me write a text message to my daughter saying I will be a little late. Explain this word I just heard on the news. Give me 3 questions to ask the mechanic before I approve the repair. Now, one thing may be confusing at first. Your phone may also have its own dictation button on the keyboard. That means you might see a microphone on your phone keyboard too. That is slightly different. The keyboard microphone usually turns your speech into typed text. The ChatGPT voice option is more like having a spoken conversation. Both can be useful. Think of a keyboard dictation like speaking to a typewriter. It turns your words into text. But ChatGPT voice is more like speaking to an assistant. You speak and a response. If you're brand new, don't worry too much about the difference. Just remember, if you see a microphone or voice button, that usually means you can speak instead of type. Now let's answer a common question many people ask. What if something goes wrong? First, what if ChatGPT cannot hear you? Well, check that the microphone access is allowed, make sure your computer or phone is not muted, and try speaking closer to the microphone. Try moving to a quieter room. Second, what if ChatGPT misunderstands a word? That's okay. Just correct it. You can say, that is not what I meant. I meant appointment, not apartment. Let me say that again. Third, if you feel awkward talking to your computer, that is completely normal. It may feel strange the first few times. It did for me. But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You don't have to sound professional. You don't have to speak perfectly. Just speak normally. Now, before we finish, there is one safety rule I want you to remember. Even when you are using your voice, the same privacy rules apply. Don't say your passwords, full bank account number, credit card number, social security number, login or verification codes. Be careful with very private medical, legal, or financial details. You can still ask for help without sharing everything. For example, instead of saying, my account number is, you can say, I have a bill with a charge I don't understand. What questions should I ask customer service? That way you get help without giving away private information. Think of this like talking to someone at a help desk in a public place. You can ask for help, but you wouldn't loudly announce your password or bank number right there and then. The same idea holds here. Now let's finish with one small practice exercise you can try today. Let's imagine a woman is saying the following.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed today and I don't really know where to start. I need to tidy the kitchen, there's laundry that needs folding. I promised I'd pick up my granddaughter from school later. I need to stop at the pharmacy, and I also need to get a few groceries because I'm out of milk, bread, and something easy for dinner. I also wanted to call my friend back, but I keep forgetting. And the house just feels untidy. I feel like I'm moving all day but not actually getting on top of anything. Can you help me organize this into a simple plan for today?
She didn't have to make a perfect list. She just spoke naturally, even a little scattered, and ChatGPT turned it into a calm, organized plan. This is useful not because you can't organize things yourself, but because sometimes it's nice to have something help you sort the mental clutter out. So if typing has made ChatGPT feel difficult, I hope this video showed you that there's another way. You can simply talk to it. You can ask questions. You can ask for help writing messages. You can prepare for appointments. You can practice phone calls. You can even plan meals. You can ask it to explain confusing technology in plain English. And most importantly, you can ask follow-up questions. You're not trying to become a computer expert. You're just learning how to ask for help in a new way. Start small. Try one voice prompt today. Ask ChatGPT to explain something simple, to write a short message, or help you make a small plan. And remember, protect your privacy. If this video helped you, please like it, leave a comment, and tell me, would you rather type to ChatGPT or talk to it? Share this video with someone who may find typing difficult or who feels nervous about using AI. And subscribe to the channel. Help me to reach 10,000 subscribers, because we are learning AI step by step in plain English with practical examples and no tech jargon. Thanks for watching. Now watch this video next because it explains the beginner mistakes that make AI feel confusing or unhelpful. Once you see those mistakes, you'll understand why ChatGPT may not have worked well for you before and how to fix it. I'll see you there.